This is the first camp I can, like, you know, enjoy myself and be back. My headspace that I'm in now is way better than what I was before, and that don't even matter to me.
A lot of things out there about the size and all of this stuff, but people forget that Tank's a top 10 pound for pound fighter, and he's got power in both hands. And skill-wise and technique-wise, he's been doing this for so long.
I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. You know, he's a real fighter, you know, and got skills, high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, you know, I've personally seen Tank, you know, spar heavyweight.
Nobody expected this fight. Jake Paul versus GervontaDavis, 2 worlds, 1 ring. One man chasing respect, the other defending his legacy. Every punch could end a career. This isn't YouTube boxing anymore, this is war. Who survives and who gets slept first? Let's break it down. Jake Paul versus GervontaDavis, nobody saw this coming. 2 stars from 2 completely different worlds are stepping into the same ring. Both want to prove they're the real deal. The energy, the hype, the tension, it's all sky high. Fans around the world are calling this the fight that could change boxing forever.
It's night and day, right? You have to understand, I went from doing YouTube and Disney Channel to 5 years, you know, once to twice a day, 6 to 7 days a week, training, recovery, taking it more serious than ever. I'm just a different specimen. My body is filled out. I'm going into my athletic prime, and going into that and my body filling out, I just feel amazing and feel super strong.
Jake Paul hasn't stopped talking about his preparation. He says this camp is his most serious yet. He's bringing in top fighters and real boxing names to help him sharpen every weapon. Jake even claims he's been dropping people in sparring. This week, he says Shakur is joining him to help him get ready for the Tank fight. But Jake did something surprising, he admitted that Tank is dangerous. That's rare honesty from him. Many say Tank is too small to face Jake. But Jake isn't fooled. He says Tank's power is real, both hands are bombs. Jake knows Tank can hit like a truck, even at that shorter height. When Jake admits he's nervous to step in that ring, that's not weakness, that's respect. It shows this fight is no joke.
Going into a fight that I've actually ever been, because I know how good these people are that I'm sparring, and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is, it's actually going to be my toughest test to date.
Yeah, I think, Jake, you could make the argument, right? Pound for pound wise, this guy's the most ferocious dude in the whole sport, couldn't you?
For sure. I think he has probably one of the highest knockout percentages.
Yeah, 90-something percent, right?
Exactly. And just his speed, his elusiveness, his ring IQ, his conditioning. You know, he's gone 12 rounds so many different times, something that I've never even done. So he's going to be sharp all the way through. I mean, the list goes on. And so just actually being vulnerable for a second, it's like, this is crazy. This is scary. It's kind of keeping me up at night.
Jake, how do you prepare for, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you? How do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously, you know, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis? How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature-wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, you know, been doing this their whole entire lives. But we're really focusing on speed and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to like lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punches are coming off faster.
Most fans don't know the truth about Tank's journey. Since the beginning of his career, Tank has sparred with heavyweights, not random ones, but skilled, powerful men who know how to fight. Showbiz, the respected boxing analyst, revealed that Tank didn't just survive those sessions, he dominated them. He punished those bigger fighters. So when Jake Paul steps in front of him, Tank won't be shocked. Jake might be bigger, but Tank has already handled bigger challenges. Those sparring stories prove Tank has faced mountains before and climbed every one of them. Showbiz even said those heavyweights Tank trained with were more technical and experienced than Jake. Jake has improved a lot, from influencer to real boxer, but he's still learning. Tank's been doing this since he was a teenager, fighting world-class talent for years. If Tank could destroy fighters heavier and more skilled than Jake, then Jake's size won't save him. That's why this fight isn't a mismatch, it's a real war.
Or bigger people, like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring. But in the past, you know, like maybe a few years ago, he's fighting a guy in Mayweather's camp. He was a bigger guy. I think he was like a middleweight or something like that. He was whooping his ass. One time he was like on live whooping a bigger guy's ass. I mean, he's just beating bigger guys like middleweights and stuff. He's done that in sparring forever. Remember this story? I've brought it up a million times and I've showed this clip a million times, but on Ellie Set Back, this story of this guy saying how Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out this heavyweight.
Tell me the story. What happened?
Tank, what's the one boy name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I'm like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Hey, I've seen him knock out some heavyweights. He might knock all ass out now.
You knocked out a heavyweight?
Yeah.
How was that?
Cause I hit harder than Wilder.
Now, granted, the heavyweights that Gervonta Tank Davis is whooping and sparring is not like, you know, all-time great heavyweights, all right? And it shouldn't be. But he's sparring the heavyweight, the level of heavyweight that, you know, more experienced than Jake Paul, right? But Jake Paul has beaten those heavyweights himself, all right? I'm thinking that is the caliber of heavyweight that Gervonta Tank Davis is sparring, but he's whooping their asses. And that's a good thing. I feel with Jake Paul sparring Raymond Ford, to me, it looked like Raymond Ford got the best of him. It looked like Jake Paul was a little exhausted, and it looked like Raymond Ford wasn't. It looked like Jake Paul was a little disappointed in his performance, and Raymond Ford was trying to give him a pick-me-up. Like, you know, just kind of letting him out. No, like, you know, we do this and do that. It just looked like Raymond Ford was in a confident, secure place, more dominant place, the more alpha out the two in the ring, and that's Raymond Ford. That ain't Gervonta Davis. You know, I love Raymond Ford. I have him on my fighters list. But still, I don't think anyone thinks he's as skillful or as powerful as Gervonta Tank Davis.
Tank Davis has made a clear decision. He's done fighting at 135 pounds. Too many weight cuts, too much damage. He's moving up to 140 pounds, and that change has transformed him. Now he feels stronger, fresher, faster. He says this is where his body performs at its best. The Jake Paul fight will be his statement fight at 140. After this, Tank plans to dominate this division completely. Some fans think moving up gives Jake an advantage because Jake's naturally heavier, but Tank disagrees. He believes this is his prime zone. At 135, he had knockout power. At 140, he's ready to show monster power. This version of Tank could be the scariest yet, and Jake Paul might be the first to experience it up close.
Or had been throwing fits a few weeks ago when Gervonta had announced that he would be fighting Jake Paul in, I believe it's coming up in just about a month, or a little bit less than a month, and that he would not be, at least immediately, he would not be rematching Lamont Roach. So people went all up in arms. Shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie, who even right now is claiming that Gervonta Davis is going to go try to fight in WWE or something like that when he gets done with Jake Paul. But the truth of the matter is that Gervonta Davis is coming back to boxing. He's always said that he's coming back to boxing. He said he's going to run off, get this bag real quick, and he'll be right back. Well, as you see, the 135-pound WBA, the WBA, where he holds his 135-pound championship, has not stripped him. They said that they were going to look into it if he had not rematched Lamont Roach, but nothing ever really came of that. So as of right now, he still has his 135-pound title, but I'm telling you, the way that things are panning out, I don't think he's going to go back down to the 135-pound division. I think he's going to go to the 140-pound division where really and truly all the smoke is there. Add to it the fact that when he fights Jake Paul, he's going to be fighting Jake Paul at a higher weight than he would necessarily be fighting guys at 135 pounds. You're probably not going to see him drain down for the fight. I don't think he's going to bulk up at all, but usually even when guys play with their weight and they go up and allow themselves to fight at a higher weight or fight people at higher weight classes.
Boxing expert Carmamel Moughton shared his thoughts, and he didn't hesitate. He believes Tank has the clear edge. His reason? Simple. Tank's used to fighting bigger men. Jake's size won't bother him. Carmamel says skill beats size every time. Jake is learning fast, but Tank is already a master boxer. He's precise, powerful, and patient. Moughton has seen Tank train behind closed doors. What he's seen gives his prediction real weight. In his eyes, Tank won't just win, he'll win dominantly. Because in boxing, talent beats muscles, and skill beats strength.
Tank versus Jake Paul.
I feel like it's gonna be a good fight, entertaining. It's an exhibition, so we're gonna see how serious they really take it. But I don't know, they both getting a lot of money, so congrats to them.
But if you had it, who has the edge in this fight?
I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. He's a real fighter, and got skills, high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, I've personally seen Tank, spar heavyweights, and even me, I spar heavyweights, So the weight's not really too much, for a lot of great fighters, so I feel like Tank will get it for sure.
Do you think he kind of be an advantage because he's small and fast? Someone said that. I'm I didn't think about that actually.
Yeah, possibly. He gonna see a lot of Jake Paul's punches coming. He can be able to evade them and then set him up for a big counter.
Wait, but do you think this is going to be different than the other Jake Paul fights we've seen, against Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez? I know a lot of people weren't the happiest with that, but I feel like Tank's going to give him a different fight. Do you think so?
I think so. We'll see how he adapts because a lot of people think it's hard, for a small guy to be fighting a bigger guy, but it's also hard for a big guy to be fighting a smaller guy. It's a small target, they're very fast, so we'll have to see how he adapts to it.
Wait, and is Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson really happening?
Yeah, that's happening.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a date already, or what's going on?
I don't think there's a date yet, but it's definitely an official fight and it's happening.
So what do you got to say about that? What's going on?
It's gonna be a great show. Floyd's gonna do his thing. Hopefully I'm on the undercard so I can put on a great show as well.
No, really? You guys already talked about that?
Not yet, no, but we'll have to see. Yeah, for sure.
And are you gonna fight again this year? What's next with you, Carmel?
I don't know. At the moment, we haven't heard nothing. We're just waiting, staying patient, staying ready. But I should be back at least one more time before the end of the year.